ball gets in, another wide open three.
Pierre Cardin.
Defers to Booker for the long range.
Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing.
Welcome, everybody, to the Aussie Suns Fans podcast. I am your host, Gavin, and we are joined, as always, by our favourite person over in Singapore in the heat over there, Nate. How you going, brother?
Good, mate. Good. Just did a week's work in Bangkok. I emphasised the word work, and now I'm back and we're doing this. Love it. It's been a hot minute. It's had a couple of months, haven't we? So feeling refreshed.
Everyone's been very busy. Our schedules have been tough to align, but we're back now. Sundays, let's get back into our slot. And the man who caused all of the delays and the no-shows and everything like that is Boyd. Welcome along, everyone's favourite piece of shit.
Hello, mate. How are you? Boyd Walker, National Tiles.
How have you been, brother?
I'm going good, brother. And I'm a little bit more confused than I was about 20 minutes ago, Gav, when I started on this journey of trying to figure out StreamYard and Instagram and all that sort of shit. I thought I had it figured out, then I didn't, and now I still don't, and I don't think I ever will. Pretty much.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. We also failed. We've tried the Twitter thing, but now I've just realised that after we've started, it's come up and said we have to have a premium account, and I ain't paying Elon Musk any money so that we can stream live on Twitter. That's just not happening. So
to answer Suns Fever in the chat about how we're really punctual, it's a cascading event of technical issues and stupidity.
Yeah, it's all gone. It's all going fabulously well so far. So anyway, gents, what we've decided to do today is do our way too early preseason predictions, which is now way too late. We were going to do this about a month ago, and we're finally here. We're going to have a crack at our predictions now. What we're going to do is just flash each person's predictions up on the screen. We'll start with Nate. He can have a chat through his East predictions first. Then we'll go Boyd for his East predictions. Actually, we might even just go East and West. We don't want to spend hours on this, gents. So, Nate, try to avoid getting into a love fest over OKC, and let's just worry about moving on so we can start to talk about all the exciting stuff that's happening within the Suns organization. So first up, let's go with you, Nate. We're going to roll out the East, your predictions for the East. Take us through it, my friend.
So what I systematically did, if you look on the left-hand column, first of all, I just started by listing their wins and losses from last year and where they finished. Then I went across, adjusted the wins and losses, and then refiltered to see where they sit based on new predicted wins. I think Boston are pretty much right back at the top. I don't believe they're going to be quite as good. I think the shine might have just come off. Plus, Jason Tatum was such a bitch at the Olympics. So I've put down there as a headline, they can't repeat. I think Philly are much better. I really do like the fit for Paul George in the Sixers. And it would not surprise me if he becomes the MVP for this team if he stays healthy. Obviously, there's going to be some debate between Embiid and Maxey on that one, but I went with PG on that one. Not that there's any love there, but so be it. The Knicks, I was going around pretty much the same with a couple more wins. I think they've got, what Jalen Brunson did in the offseason is probably going to great impact on the team and team atmosphere. And bringing in another piece, even if they did lose Randall, I think they get a little bit better. The Magic's probably, I think, the one to watch out for. They made a significant leap last year, and I think they'll continue to improve this year. And Paolo's just an absolute stud. It's Cleveland. I don't see Donovan Mitchell here much longer, and I think I took a bit of a flyer there just for something, in Darius Garland as the MVP. Just be a little bit different rather than throwing in the traditional suspects, which is pretty much the rest of this list. The Bucks, Giannis was a bit, and I don't think Dame time is enough still. I've got them, I think, about exactly the same, and exactly the same. Probably won't happen, but I just don't see them getting any better. Keep on going down. I didn't rate the Pacers last year, and boy was I wrong. So I've been a bit friendlier to them this year. But Tyrese Halliburton, he made such a point about it being his team, and everyone should come play with him. So they might be better, but Tyrese now a target, and his ego is about to pop like a kid's birthday balloon. That's my headline. I probably need to hurry this up. The Heat, I think I've got the Heat too high. I think it's scorched earth time. I think Jimmy's on his way out. Keep going down to the Hawks. I'm not a Hawks fan. They're always a play-in team. If we've got to put a headline there, I've gone score. Someone grabbed the long-range 22. Ash will get that one. Bulls, this is the one you mentioned, Gav, that if I was writing an article here, it would start with poo-poo platter with too many point guards. I think when we were drafting in one of the fantasy leagues the other night, Gav, you said that Nikola Vuce is burnt. He's cooked. He's toast. But he's still, I reckon, the best player on that team. Then we get into dregs of everything. Raptors, Hornets, Nets, Pistons, Wizards. Look, this I said just before. I think when we're talking about the Hornets, I think I've extremely undervalued the Hornets. If LaMelo Ball's healthy and Brandon Miller takes his leaps, team chemistry, and I think they changed coach as well, right? So I think the Hornets I've definitely undervalued, but it is what it is. As far as Tom Johnson, our little twinnies, I think it's both fun. He's the backlog in front of him on. I think he's going to get a lot more time to show what he can do, and I think he absolutely has to do it. And obviously, if you want the shit show that is Washington, I know you love Malcolm Brogdon, Gav. So I've sided with you and put him down as the MVP of that awful organization. That's enough talk from me.
Excellent. Do you want to run us through your West predictions?
No. How about let Boyd talk for a minute?
Okay, Boyd, do you want to go through your East predictions?
Yeah, here we go. So I did this before there was a lot of shit going on, right? I'm just going to see if I can do this.
We did our East like 2 months ago, and we did our West yesterday.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so look, I've got obviously I've got Philly, even with Paul George, I've got Embiid taking that out, and it's going to be the same old shit, mate. Are they going to stay healthy throughout the playoffs? Knicks, I picked the Knicks to be the best team of role players ever. This is before Cat got traded to them, guys. So look, I reckon that they're probably even a little bit better after that trade. But yeah, I've got them there, and I'm gonna lock in Cat over Macau for the team MVP there since that trade. Boston, Tatum, just because they're the defending champs, rah. And I think there's going to be a bit of tussle after his poor Olympics run for Tatum. Maybe Brown starts making up some of that ground, and he's sort of he's biting at his heels a bit. So it'll probably still stay Tatum's, but yeah, I just like that narrative. So because I fucking hate Tatum. Milwaukee Bucks, I've got in the 4th spot there just because of Giannis, but I'm still a little bit that tandem that it didn't quite pop off, that Lillard and Giannis tandem. Like it didn't. I don't think it really worked very well. I think if they could take it back, I think they might. Magic, just because they've just got so many up and coming guns, pretty much. And they've got 3 or 4 guys there that I think could take a leap. And my headline there is basically, are they one move away from contending? Is it just one? Do they need one guy just to connect all these young pieces and get the best out of them? Who knows? Pacers. Halliburton for me, but I think I think Siakam's gonna start calling for a bit more ball, and I think it's sort of we see that in the media as well. Has he been extended, Gav? I couldn't quite remember if he'd been extended or not, or is this a
Who's that? Garland
that's Siakam
or Mitchell? Oh, Siakam. Yeah, I believe he did. He did get extended.
He did get extended there.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was wondering if maybe it was a contract year for him. Cleveland, we all
Signed
know
a 4-year, $188 million contract.
Oh, good on him, rich fuck.
Yes.
Garland, odd man out in Cleveland. Donovan Mitchell, just because any team that he's just he is the main guy. He's going to get all them numbers. So, Jimmy Buckets one last time with the Heat. I don't think he goes around again with them, and I think they fall short in the grand scheme of things. I was feeling a little bit fucky there. I saw something on social media with Jimmy Buckets and Diddy, and I don't know if it was just sort of crap or what, but I had a bit of a laugh and I went, "No, chuck that in there," because he does all them the crazy hair and shit, and all the tranny stuff. So just I was joking around, but I just thought about Diddy straight up. Who got there? Hornets, LaMelo, because there's no fucking one else. And Mark Williams is a guy that I have in that same Joel Embiid mold. I'm not saying he's anywhere near as good, but could he be a couple of years away from a couple of years away of being the shadow of Embiid's reflection? Maybe, I don't know.
Such confidence.
Again, I'm still feeling a bit fucky. Do the Hawks need to flip Trey? I mean, Trey's always going to get his numbers, and he's always going to be that lead on that team. Do they look to move on from it? Is it another lackluster season with Trey? And do they think maybe we just sort of cash in on him right now? Who knows? Raptors, Scotty Barnes, because he has the fucking keys to Toronto. He's got the keys to Canada right now. Yeah. There's no one there knocking on the door to take him off him either. So, but where am I up to, mate?
Nets and Simmons.
The real deal. Quickly's a guy that I think will flourish there, and that's why I've got that as a headline. The Nets.
Tell us about this, love.
Ben Simmons, my man. Benny boy it's his rejuvenation season. He's going to be somewhat healthy, a couple of niggles, but nothing major. And he rebuilds his trade value just in time to get another contract. So I love it. Pistons, I've got Cade as the MVP. And it's just going to be a case of here we go again. To address their shooting, they picked up Tim Hardaway Jr. Is he enough? He doesn't really look like he doesn't look too good from the two outings that we've had against him. So, yeah, I don't think he's enough. Bulls. I've got Levine. I think they're going to pump some rotation minutes into him. And look, they're going to trick themselves into should they keep him on after he builds up his trade value, because they're going to play a lot through him, I think, and try and get rid of him. But then they might find themselves second guessing and saying, "Oh fuck, maybe we should keep this guy." I don't know, but yeah.
How is he the MVP if they get rid of him?
Well, they may not get rid of him. They may not be able to. Who knows? But I just got him there. I just think he's going to be a feature in their offense. And if they can't get rid of him, I think he'll keep on being a feature of their offense until at which point they can get rid of him. Maybe in the offseason. Don't ask me questions, Nate. I didn't put much thought into this, okay? Mate.
That's what makes it so fun.
The Wizards, I've got Malcolm Brogdon. And I've got a funny feeling that he's going to be moved on from there. I just don't think I think that they'd probably love to have him and have him help along whatever young talent that they've got. Not that they're much chop at all, but I think that he kind of may push himself out. Because he's at a point now, he's been flipped around a bit, and I think he wants to win. I don't think he's going to fucking do it at Washington. Mate.
Which brings us to Gavin.
Are you sure that he won't do it at Washington? I mean,
No.
I'm hoping for the
Washington
I'm hoping for the Nate jump from the Wizards this year, where they're in playoff contention,
fuck.
and Jordan Poole hits a shot, maybe once. Okay, mine for the East. I'm way behind. I've done nothing, so I basically just stole yours, Nate, and put some headlines next to it and changed a couple of names and maybe some of the wins. For me, Boston, I think they will finish on top. They've proven they're a very good regular season team, but I feel that at some stage during this year, the players on that team they're very sensitive. They get very upset about missing out on things or not being included in things or not being spoken about. So I've got a feeling that the team's just going to throw the toys out of the cot at some stage and stamp around like angry juveniles. And that will impact them. Philly in second. I think Philly and New York is a toss-up. It could go either way. If Philly can keep the team they've got healthy, obviously Embiid misses a lot of time. Paul George has missed a lot of time. Even Tyrese Maxey missed a lot of basketball last year. They've just got to stay healthy. New York's going to be fun. I just think that team is going to be like the Suns in that painful season we won't talk about that ended painfully anyway. But just a fun team, and I think they're going to be pretty good to watch this year. Paolo will step it up another level this year, lead Orlando, drag them forward. Cleveland, who cares? Milwaukee, Dame time ain't enough is correct. I agree with that one, Nate, so I just left it.
You stole that right up there.
Straight off you. Indiana, great at home, not so good away. Miami, they're finished. Slide begins. Bam Adebayo is going to be their main man now. Jimmy, I think, will probably, if they're struggling, he's probably going to be asking out by the mid-year. Atlanta, nothing to see here. Trae Young will be their best player. They've lost DeJounte, but really they're a pretty boring team anyway. Toronto's just going to be about another year of build. Scotty Barnes will try to do everything he can there, but they just don't have enough around him. Charlotte, something needs to click. It might be that it's a key change, a personnel change with a trade. I don't know, but they can just never seem to get out of this bottom 4 or 5 in the Eastern Conference and never really look like they're going to do any damage. Brooklyn, yeah, they'll effectively be wiped out by the deadline. I think they're not done trading. They're going to trade everything with a bit of value, and they're going to go back and try and start from draft picks. Detroit, I think Detroit will be better. I once again stole your comment because I like it because it's right. No one cares, not even their own fans. But I think they will be better this year. I think they showed a few signs in those preseason games that they're going to be pretty good. And Washington, nobody gives a flying fuck. Washington should not even be in the NBA. They're a G League team. There's probably a good G League team that could come in and replace Washington.
Mate, you skipped over your Josh Giddey love.
Oh, okay, I'll go back there. I've got I did. Giddey will be the cornerstone in that Bulls team. Lonzo Ball will never play because he's always injured. DeMar's gone. Zach LaVine, nobody cares. So I think they will. They'll put the ball in his hands a lot, and I think it'll suit him very, very well. We saw how he performed in the Olympics. I think it'll suit him down to the ground to have the ball in his hands in Chicago. So I think we will see a bit of a breakout year from young Josh, which should be great.
Hope.
All right, Nate, talk to us about the West.
Well, let's start by saying I'd be scared to not have the Suns at number 1 with Boyd on a podcast with me. We were speaking the last time we did pod about how many wins they should be aiming for, and Gav, we both agreed that 60 should be the goal, so I just put the goal in. I think Booker just keeps getting better year on year, and it's clear this is really his team. And we spoke a lot about the Miami team with Bosch and LeBron and D-Wade not getting it done their first year, but in their second year, they really did. And I think that, like I've said before, I think that's the same thing that we're looking at this year. So the second year is a charm. Running down the list, I think the Wolves continue to get better. I like the Randall fit in that front court now. I was never really a Cat fan, so I think that's, along with Ant Edwards, is an animal, let's be honest. But can he accelerate the accelerate or hinder? That's what I'm saying. Is his ego going to be too big for the team? I was thinking there. Thunder, no Thunder love. I think they drop off just a fraction. Obviously, SGA is still going to be their best achiever. But if they can't advance in the playoffs, nothing else matters. Mavericks, don't really want to talk about them. Luka Bitch will still be their best player, and the headline is always fuck Luka. Nicole Djokovic and the Nuggets. Look, does Joker even care anymore? Does he even give a shit? Like, when you watch him, it's just so casual. It's like, you got to question the passion sometimes. I still think they'll get over 50 wins, and that still puts them up there out of the play-in. Kings look great. They keep improving. They keep adding pieces. I think they like to be more times this year. That's why I got an increase in the wins, not a lot, but marginally. It pains me that the Lakers are this high up in my predictions. There's a title: their father and son take the court, and the Lakers fan gets sick of it. Too many L's. I think if Anthony Davis is well, he's the star of the team. As good as LeBron is, I think that his years have to be numbered, and we say that every year. Pelicans and Zion. I know you love DeJounte Murray, but is it enough for them to really improve? I think they've got a lot of other problems in that locker room that they need to fix in order to be better. The Warriors, this is probably the most questionable one that I've got the Warriors tied with them at 8. Curry obviously going to keep doing Curry things, but chemistry's on the up, but not necessarily the win column. Ja Morant is back, and I could be low on the Grizzlies here. I think we're finally going to get to see that team. I don't want to use the word maturity, but it might be the closest word that I'm looking to what I'm looking for. And then we get down to the bottom end. Look, I've got the Rockets faring off at the same win-loss record. I do think Jalen Green plays a bigger, more consistent is probably the better word for his role this year. James Harden takes a leap in Clipperville. He may be the man more times than not if Kawhi does Kawhi things and only plays half the season. But can the beard be the leader again? Lowry in the Jazz. The rest really doesn't matter. The Spurs, again, I've got them getting better, but I think it's a slow roll on the growth as far as the team's win-loss records go. And the Blazers are my pick for dumpster fire of the year. I think Anthony Simons will take the opportunity to stand up and show what he's improving every year. And I think DeAndre Ayton will keep doing what he does and ruining chemistry and being a lazy fucking so-and-so. Boyd.
Thank you, Nate. Very good. Stephen's asking you questions in the chat, but he's leave him alone, bossy. No one wants to hear your shit. Don't be mean. Boyd, talk to us. You're on mute, Boyd.
You fucking. Okay, can you hear me now? Am I back? Yes, I am.
Yes,
Great.
you are.
Now, out of fear of some fucking Neville-like Vossi in the chat going on about, oh, there's too many wins there, I was going to put the Suns down as 82 because I believe. But I thought, well, how about I just, for all them naysayers, I'll chuck in our regular season record. I think it's 65 or 66. So I went 66 just to be sure. So we're going to break some records here, guys. And the headline's going to be the Bradley Beal resurgence, because I think that he's between him and Book moving off the ball, it's going to they're going to eat, man. And I just think that Beal's going to get a lot of praise because he got a lot of fucking crap last season, mostly because of that hefty contract that he's got. Number 2, I've got OKC, just because I don't see them regressing any. I think they've made a couple of savvy moves, and they've got some guys who are still getting better. So their young core is fucking brilliant. Presti is a fucking Aussie prick, and good on him, good on them, but they won't be quite good enough. Denver as the number 3. They need more depth. That's going to be the headline. Jokic, of course, is going to be their MVP, but I just think that everyone starts working these guys out. They just haven't got as much in the bag as they used to. Everyone's getting a little bit older, so Jamal Murray's just been a shadow of himself, but I think that they still hang around because of that fucking Nicola bloke. Now, Mini for number 4. Ant as the MVP because they're not going to vote anyone else. He's going to be in the actual MVP conversations. And I look after all the noise they made last season, I think that they're not going to do quite as good. They'll still be in the top 4, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of questions around did they win about them winning that trade, that cat trade, where they got a really inconsistent Julius Randle and a draft pick and DiVincenzo but all these pieces, they don't always amount to that star piece that you give up. So yeah, I think that'll be it there. I put Dallas in there just so I wanted to put them last, but and my main headline is and Luke is going to be their MVP because he won't fucking let anyone else get a sniff. And the headline is going to be, can Luka shut up and dribble? He's going to be in technical trouble, arguing with refs every time fucking something doesn't go right, and he's going to get all that bad windhorse media, and yeah, they're going to be asking some questions. The Kings, now they've added DeRozan. Is he going to fit? That's a big question mark. This is one that could go horribly wrong, but they got enough good pieces there for mine. And Sabonis, just because he's the main connector on that team, he's fucking brilliant. He doesn't have to score a lot, but he does a lot of the nitty-gritty stuff that no one else wants to do. The Pearls, Herbert Jones at the 5. Fuck off. It'll end up being Zion. It's going to be Zion. They'll try that for a bit. He'll get bullied, and Zion will get pushed in there. So I've got them in this, and that's a couple of spots up to where they were last season. I think that they'll be a lot better. I think Zion's a bit healthier. Memphis, Ja Morant. Is his head in the game? Is he pulling guns on people? Is he fucking getting injured all the time? Is he that guy? I think we find out this season. But I've still got him in there just because they've got a pretty good squad. Now, this is my dark horse. I've got the Spurs scraping through the play-in. Wemby being their fucking freak that gets their MVP. And CP3 unlocks Wemby. We saw him in preseason throwing that stupid alley-oop, and I just think that I think that's going to be a really fucking nice little dynamic duo, if you ask me.
I think everyone would actually agree with you on that one for the first time ever.
Oh, well, too bad. And if they don't, they're wrong. Isn't that right, Nate? The Clippers scraping in. I think Harden's due for a fucking bit of a dummy spit. He's going to throw them toys out of the cot. So, but yeah, I'm not too sure on. They've lost Paul George, and I'm just not sure on the health of these two guys and their fucking egos being able to survive a tough season. So, yeah, Warriors, the end of an era. Self-explanatory there. The Rockets, Jalen Green, I think finds some consistency and add in a few little niggling injuries with Fred VanVleet. I think that he starts, taking them keys, so to speak. Lakers, AD, because fucking LeBron's a hack, and it's the whole Bronny and fucking LeBron James thing's going to be a big thing. Blazers, fire sale. Utah, fire sale. Let's go get Cooper Flag. And that is it. The end.
That would be such a Utah thing to do. Go after the draft with the greatest white guy to come out of it ever.
He'd fit in beautifully in Utah. All right, my predictions for the West, just because I'm a glutton for being abused. So I know by doing
Wow.
this, I'm going to get abused
You
flat out.
really did this in a hurry, didn't you? That's
The
about the
Mavericks, the
only excuse
Mavericks
for
to
this.
finish, the Mavericks to finish first in the West in the regular season. They will be the regular season favourites. Luka Doncic will win the MVP this year. And then they will go out in straight sets in the playoffs. So that'll be fun. The Suns, I think my prediction was 54 to 56 wins. I'm going to stick with the 54. But year two of this team being together, that's where it all happens.
Fucking hell.
It's what
So you really we're only improving by 5 games this year.
yeah, pretty well. I think overall we're going to be better balanced, and yeah, 5 games is plenty. The Nuggets to finish third, same team. Jokic will be their best player. The Wolves to finish fourth. My headline for them is they should have kept the cat, because I think that they're not going to be as good as they were last year, even though I think they'll win enough regular games to finish in the top 4. The Thunder. Now, the Thunders, I've got anything could happen, because the Thunder could finish anywhere from first to 8th. They're a bit of an enigma, that team, especially with the youth. If they can stay on the same path they were on last year, fantastic for them. But we've seen over and over again that doesn't always happen. SGA to be their main man. The Grizzlies, if he can stay healthy, they will be right back in the mix again. They've got a really, really solid team. The Kings, 7th, 42 wins. They'll just go about their business all year. They'll win enough games to make the playoffs, but really there's just too many good teams. I think the Rockets are the team that makes the jump this year. Jalen Green, I could see some real improvement coming from Jalen Green, and I think that the Rockets will be a playoff team this year. The Pelicans, they need to change things up, in my opinion, now. Whether it's Ingram, whether it's Zion, whoever it is, somebody there needs to move on, and they've got to make some changes to how that list is built, because they're not going to be much better than a playing team as they stand, even with the DeJounte Murray addition. Lakers, AD will be their MVP, but Father Time is catching up. The Lakers just don't have enough depth to compete with the top teams. The Warriors are finished. They're on the way down. Steph is going to be their man, but I think, Boyd, you said it, Draymond out by deadline. Wouldn't surprise me either if Draymond's moved on. The Clippers, well, Kawhi's already fucked and got to have surgery and all this sort of stuff. So James Harden's going to be like he was in Houston. He'll be one out. His support cast will be Normie Powell. The Spurs will have 30-win season. They're going to be much better this year. But the big thing for them is Victor Wembanyama is going to win every award that the NBA has, because the NBA just wants to give him every single award. So there's a good chance he wins the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. They may even make him eligible for Rookie of the Year again, just to make sure he can have it. He'll get the Most Improved Player. He's going to be the leading vote getter in the All-Star game. Everything is going to come up Vic. The Jazz, yeah, they've tanked for picks previously. I could see they probably overperformed a little bit last year. I could see them coming back again. And the Blazers, I think Scoot will be much better than he was last year, but they're still stuck in the first year of a build for the 12th straight year.
Boom, there it is.
So that is our predictions. So my next question for you two gentlemen is, Boyd, who comes out of the West and plays in the finals, and who comes out of the East and plays them in the finals?
Comes out of the East. I think, well, here's what I hope from you. I hope we get the Knicks. I want some Macau reunions with Booker in the finals. That's what I want, man. That's what I want. So I've got the Suns coming out of the West, of course. Boston will be a tough get, as we all know. But I'm just gonna fucking put all my positive thoughts behind the Knicks. And Book, Cat relationship, Macau relationship. We've got campaign there as well. We've got lots of ties there. That'll be a fun final series.
No,
Well, obviously, I think the Suns. I want to. You guys know my favorite podcast outside of listening to Suns stuff is the Mismatch with Chris Vernon and Kevin O'Connor. So Kevin O'Connor's moved on, and David Jacoby from Jalen and Jacoby jumped on with Chris Vernon last week, and he actually made a comment about the Suns. And he's saying he doesn't understand why nobody's talking more about them, and he was saying that he would not be surprised for them to come out of the West into the finals. So obviously, I completely agree with that. Logic would say Boston repeat in the East, but I'm with Boyd on this one. I would like to see Knicks and Magic in the East Finals, and from that, I think either one would be fun. But I think I'd like to see the Knicks there too. I mean, the league's always saying that the league is always better when the Lakers and the Knicks are good. I'd much rather see the Knicks good.
I'm with both of you. My prediction is for the Suns to come out. And I believe that the Knicks will come out of the East, and it's going to be a Suns-Knicks final series. Nice, as you said, Boyd, some nice stories there with the ex-Suns players that are there. I think the Knicks are going to be a fun team, and I can't wait to beat them in June next year and bring that trophy back to Phoenix. So that's going to be great. Who's your prediction for MVP, Boyd?
For MVP, I've got money on Booker. Does that tell you who my prediction is? That's my every year bet, though.
Yeah, I have that. I have the same bet every year.
But I think honestly, in a world where we win as many games that I say, I reckon one of our guys, or maybe even two. We had a period where Chris Paul and Devin Booker were both in the top 5 MVP race, or was it top 10? But
it might have been 5. Yeah.
It could have been top 6 or 7. Who knows? But we've had it before in a Phoenix Suns team that got up a lot of wins, and I think we could do it again. And it's going to be in the way of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. I just don't know which name's going to be where on top of who. But look, I'm going to stick with Booker because that's where my money is.
Nate?
Look, we all want it to be Book. And I think this year we've got the best chance of that with the media now being on board with the Suns as a contender, having the right team there. Is there too many pieces around Book to take the shine off him in the eyes of voting? I think the biggest hurdle is going to be the Luka environment. The media want him to win an MVP. Now, again, they're not the only vote, but the narrative is always around, is it his time? And he's got to do something soon because he's, looks fatter at the start of every season. So his seasons are catching up with him. I want to go with Booker. It'll be between Booker and Luka, I think.
Yeah, well, as I said before, my prediction is Luka this year, and for that, exactly what you just said, Nate. There's a desperation around the NBA to get him an MVP award, and I think this is the year that it happens, and particularly if they are up the top end of the West, I can see that that narrative around the centers shifts, and we see Luka winning it. But I've got bets on both Booker and Durant, so I'll be more than happy for either of those two to come rolling home there, Boyd. Who is your defensive player of the year?
Hey. I didn't even look at this, to be honest with you.
I know, I just pulled it on you.
Yeah, you just kind of made this shit up. I do like the Homer references where Sun Geek said KD for Defensive Player of the Year. I think it would go to someone younger. Shit. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they give it to Anthony Davis. It's, if he's not going to be up for any other awards, I'd like to give him something.
Street clothes. Boyd.
Here's what I'm going to say. Ryan Dunn. No, I'd love to say Ryan Dunn. Oh, man, that guy gets me hard. But I think it's going to be someone. I think it's going to be a guard. Oh no, actually no, it's going to be fucking Wemby.
Hasn't it only been two guards?
Wemby's got it like stitched up for a while now. You get a guy averaging that many fucking blocks. But as far as a guard, I was going to say
so low on my predictions, I even forgot about him.
I was going to say Ian Edwards if it was a guard, but no, Wemby for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Can I change my prediction, please?
Yes, you can. Wemby, we're all agreeing with each other again. It's going to be Wemby. They want to give him every single award. Okay, this one might be a bit harder, but who's going to win Rookie of the Year? Because I don't think there's any massive standouts for Rookie of the Year this year.
No.
I'll just jump on Ryan Dunn as a homer fucking thing for sure. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, and you're right. Look, it's a little bit lackluster at the top. That top five, they're saying that anyone in the top 6 or 7 in this upcoming draft would have gone number 1 in this draft just gone. So yeah, no, I'm just going to stick with Ryan Dunn because I think he's going to look good on a winning team, and I think he's going to carve out some rotation minutes.
No.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It was the guy that got picked 3rd. I think had
Alex
the most.
Sarr?
No, was it? No, not Alex Sarr. That's not who I was thinking.
Risacher? Is it?
No, he got picked 1. Risacher was number 1.
Who was it? Come on, be quicker, Nate. Be quicker.
Castle?
Dead air is awful for pods.
Yeah.
It's
great.
You're talking Reed Shepherd, who went to the Rockets?
No, he didn't get drafted 3rd, did he?
Yeah, Reed Shepherd got drafted 3rd.
We don't know who you're thinking about, mate. Just fucking pick someone, mate. Just fucking pick someone. Go also.
Oh, it was Ron Holland I was thinking of.
To the Pistons?
Yeah, but no, I would actually like to see
fights?
Reed Shepherd get it because I went after him in the draft in our Suns fantasy draft thing. It's the problem with him is coming out backup, even though he's listed as a shooting guard, he's got to get the minutes, and that's a pretty aggressive team ahead of him holding up the minutes. I'll just go Reed Shepherd for the sake of it. Let's just do that.
I'm going with Dylan the Connect, the kid that's at the Lakers. He looks like he could shoot a bit. His preseason's been pretty solid, and I reckon he's going to get plenty of minutes. Oh, there we go. And Vossi agrees with me. Connect. He is my prediction for the Rookie of the Year. Yes, my friend.
Can I just say, you've turned into a real fuckwit over this offseason. You've got the Mavs taking out the fucking West. You got fucking the Lakers getting Rookie of the Year. You're fucking right on it, mate. You're right in the area.
I appreciate the support and love. It's very kind.
That's all right, mate. That's all right.
I'm trying to be more mellow and nice these days, mate. Come on, what's wrong with you? All right. So, what other awards are there that we can talk about in the NBA? There, none. Okay. Let's Coach of the Year. We're all going to pick Bud, so let's move on. Let's go into our wrap up of the preseason so far. What have you seen? What do you like? What's changed about this squad and where we were last year? What have you noticed over these first preseason games that has changed in the way that we're going to approach this year? Boyd?
Well, we've got a couple of little things going for us, Gav, and I know you don't believe in them. They're called fucking point guards. And they're going to work really well for us, mate. They're going to work really well for us. Tyus Jones has already shown us that he's willing to pull up on a dime and fucking splash a 3 every now and then for us. The amount of threes that we're taking, there's a lot of positive reinforcement coming from our vets for our 2 young guys, and I think they're in a perfect situation. A lot of these rookies, right? They find themselves in their talent being overlooked because they're not in the right situation. I think both of these guys are in a fucking perfect situation to really maybe even look better than what they really are. But yeah, look, I think the preseason, it's been a bit up and down after the last game. Like we were John Voider's vision of the 40-40 vision. So us taking 40% of our shots from deep and also hitting that at a 40% clip. The old 40-40 vision. But we were pretty close to that. So we were, I think we were missing out by shooting 38% in the first two games. In that yesterday's game, we shot 23% from deep and we got up 47 of them. And it fucking tanked us right down. So now we're back down in the low 30s from deep. But look, I'm not reading too much into that because it is preseason. Our guys are only playing half the fucking game. And if you just look at the breaks, the splits between the first half, second half, they're night and day, apart from that first game. But yeah, you can just see the drop-off percentage-wise and all that sort of stuff. So I'm not reading too much into the loss. I think we're going to let it fly, and I think there's going to be we're going to get back what we lost when we lost Jay Crowder. That connectivity in defense. Osso and Ryan Dunn are going to be perfect fits on this squad. So yeah, man, I've liked it overall. Just more from a fundamental standpoint, just as to how they're actually playing, regardless of that loss yesterday. So yeah, I'm good. We good in the West.
We good in the West. Nate.
Frank the Tank for preseason MVP. I got such a shock to see him on the court because I heard no news of that signing. And then I was looking at the screen going, is that Kaminsky? So that was probably the highlight of preseason for me. I put no weight on preseason at all. They don't care about the wins. It's literally practice sessions. The best part is I think we've seen the most minutes for the rookies that we'll see all year. We might utilize them, but I don't think we're going to see anywhere near as much as of the minutes they're playing in preseason. So that's been the fun part to watch.
Yeah, I think there's an obvious change in the way that we want to play the game, which is great because I know, Boyd, we had the conversation previously as well about we had it on the Suns Jam show a couple of weeks ago where we spoke about the fact that we wanted to make sure that we avoided that ISO ball and that repeated type of play that we played last year. The big thing for me is the energy in the squad. There is a clearly different vibe around the energy in the squad than what there was last year. And I think that's a real positive because there were times last year that it just felt like none of them wanted to be there. They were all pulling an Eric Bledsoe. Where now, at least they all looked engaged. They looked energetic. They're getting around each other. I think that's probably the most exciting part about what I've seen in the preseason so far, and what I think we're going to see when we get into the regular season. Obvious change in the way we play, given the fact that Tyus Jones has come in, and the way we set up around that. We really haven't run a game with a full squad yet. I don't think we'll see that until probably the last preseason game. But just on one of your comments there, Nate, around the rookies, and it probably leads into the next part that I was going to talk about. I think that Ryan Dunn is putting enough on display right now that we're going to see him pick up a key rotational role within this team, to the point where I think Okogie's minutes are going to obviously take a significant hit. And I think maybe even Royce O'Neal's minutes might be impacted as they look to put Ryan Dunn into that rotation a little bit more. Dunno, that's just the feeling I get. What are your thoughts on that, Nate?
I think Okogie will be affected more than Royce. You look at Royce out in the court and he fits, I think, more of what we want to achieve, what we want to transform into, and Okogie still looks the same. And a lot of the commentary, even during one of the preseason games I was listening to, was that Okogie is fighting for his minutes. So obviously they would transition, I guess, to Dunn. I don't think Royce will lose minutes to the Rook so much because he's moving between small forward and power forward anyway. But I guess you got a point there that they could actually lean on the rookies more than I think. But preseason's no real indicator.
No, I don't. And look, I don't get me wrong. I don't think we're going to. Everyone's excited about Oso. I'm excited about Oso as well, what he's displayed. But I don't see Oso getting a massive bump in minutes when the regular season starts. When Nurkic is playing, Plumlee's his backup. I just don't see Oso getting a ton of minutes in that backup center role as it stands right now. Anyway, Boyd,
And
thoughts?
don't discount the Frank love. This team loves
Well,
Frank.
but Frank's only on a 10-day, right? He hasn't signed yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, what were that went in a couple of different directions. What do you want my thoughts on?
Usually
Mate?
does.
Ryan Dunn picking up minutes over Okogie and
yeah.
potentially Royce O'Neal and whatever. Do you think he's shown enough to be a major piece in the rotation?
Yeah, look, I think not so much Royce, more so Okogie. And I think it's a bit of a look. I think Okogie is probably that piece that we try and move at the deadline. So maybe we see Okogie playing more significant minutes, possibly just to get someone interested up until that point. At which point, Royce and Dunn just have that shooting ability that Okogie he hasn't shown us that consistently yet. So I think you're right there. I think he does. And also Iguodaro, man, I think he's fucking. I think he's going to knock off Mason. And I think right now, Coach Buds is fucking. No, I'm really not. I think that I don't think the cunt's taken a fucking actual shot this season. They're all been shot puts, not shots. But
he does love that little push floater.
Oh mate, it's like, but just show me you have something else, man. But yeah, look, I think Oso is going to. I think Buds loves what he does offensively, and he's just his quick reaction to find a man on the perimeter, and he's Mason Plumlee is not a bad passer by any means, but he hasn't got the diversity of passing skills that fucking Oso has, and I think he's fucking going to blow Buds away, and I think Buds is going to fucking lead him in there, mate. I think he will. So yeah, I think both of them carve out some rotation minutes this season at some stage.
Yeah, look, he's and you're spot on. Oso's been really, really impressive over the first couple. He's passing, his screen and roll. He cuts hard to the basket. He's been very, very impressive. Defensively, he's been strong. Do you think there's a potential there that he can play some minutes at the 4?
Also,
yeah.
Spot minutes, but I don't think with his lack of range offensively, I don't think that's ideal. His frame's probably better suited for that position. And look, here's the thing: he's going to struggle rebounding. He's still got his flaws big time. I just think he's going to be good enough at that aspect that connecting the offense. I think he's going to be good enough at that it overlooks, his lack of heftiness, his ability to gain position rebounding and to bang with these other bigs. So I think not so much before, because I think it's more important for us to have shooting at that position if we want to get get that floor spread. No, and Justin's right in the chat there. He's definitely not diverse, but he'll be able to give us that physicality. I think that but that we're not going to want all that to go away after Nurk comes off. And Nurk's lost weight, man. He may not be as physical as he was previously, so we do need some of that.
Yes, it'll be interesting. The last part of this question, I guess, from my side of things is, has Oso already gone past Bol?
Yeah. Bol's on struggle street, man. He's going to... Just because, he's 2 from 9 in the preseason. He's looking a little bit lost, I think. But I honestly think
a little bit lost. He looks like a giraffe on fucking skates.
I know, but hey,
we've always had a low opinion of him.
he's gonna get his chances, and I think that part of the reason that he stayed with us, because he could have got a little bit more money elsewhere after his performance last season, is because of that KD influence. And I think when he gets out there and he gets some more consistent minutes with KD, I think he starts shining that light again. And I think that he gets his value back a bit. So Bol is more the 4. He's not going to play at the 5. I don't think he ever should. So yeah, I would say Osso has overtaken Bol for mine right now.
Mate,
what you were saying before about Bud loving Osso, when you go back and you look at the draft room footage with Coach Bud and James Jones and Ishbia, you could see how happy Bud was that they got their guy in Osso. So I do agree with you as far as coach's perception goes that he's overtaken Bol as far as favoritism for Burn goes. He doesn't start the season incredibly strong. He didn't last year. It took him half a season before he started to show anything. And I think if he spends enough time on the bench and working with KD, he'll kick himself into gear at some point. But as far as the season start goes, yeah, I'd say Osso's ahead of him.
yes. I certainly think he's ahead. I think that you can leave Bol firmly planted with his ass on the seed, that 15th spot. He's looked completely lost. Defensively, he's a significant liability. Sure, he does some highlight stuff on offense, but my opinion hasn't changed on Bol. He's still no good. He's rubbish. Get rid of him. See you later. Oso's gone well and truly past.
I've got a question for you boys.
Yes. Throw it.
Colin Gillespie. What do you fucking think of Colin Gillespie?
I think Colin Gillespie's got a lot of upside. Given the fact that he's on a 2-way, is great. But his problem is that we've just got too many damn guards now.
Oh fuck, Monty. Monte, I should say. Monte, Morrison, Tyus Jones. You're right, man. You're right. But Colin Gillespie, where was he? Where did the Suns? Why didn't we get him fucking 2 seasons ago instead of?
Well, he was at Denver 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know. But Colin Gillespie's looked fucking nice, man. He's been coming in later in the games, and he's been fucking. I haven't seen him do anything wrong. He's coming in there. He's getting steals. He's knocking down trays, and fucking. And when he gets in the paint, he's no slouch there either. So, man, I fucking like the guy. I like the guy. Let's keep him if we can.
So you asked us a question and then answered it yourself.
Yeah, I did. That goes to show how much I value my opinion over you two fucking clowns.
Mate, what were you going to say?
What was that Thomas the Tank Engine saying? Was it the little tank that can or something? I think looking at Gillespie on the court, it just the first thing I thought of was he's got a great little motor on him. So there's a lot of value in that. Let's see what happens.
I don't think
it's a great little piece to have on a 2-way.
He might play some dead space minutes, but really he's relying on 2, maybe 3 injuries in order to get Burn, I think. And it's unfortunate because, like you said, Colin Gillespie last year would have been much better option than Saban Lee coming off the bench. So I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of that, but yeah, I just think he's going to struggle to get the Burn with the amount of guards that we now have on the roster. I mean, he's not going past Tyus, he's not going past Monte, Bill, Booker, even Grayson Allen, sort of at that 2-3 spot. So
hey,
I think
in a world, Gav, in a world where Tyus moves on next season, maybe Monte plays that card as well because he might, get some value this season after we get a chip. Colin Gillespie is fucking what we need. He is the fucking medicine next season.
Well, he's what he reminds me of is the highlights I saw from that Tyler Kolek that we were talking about potentially drafting.
Yeah, yes.
Yes. So it's and I know that a lot of us were pretty high on Tyler Kolek as a potential draft. So I think he certainly shows a lot of those type of signs. And having him on the roster on 2-way is great. I mean, if the injuries do come and they do impact, it's a pretty solid young man to throw into the lineup. And we know that they can, I think, based on preseason so far, I think as fans, we will know that we can trust him when he gets on the court and he'll be able to do it. So, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Final one on the Suns piece, 15th roster spot. What do we do with it? Are we leaving it open? Are we signing Frank? Are we signing somebody else from outside? I know you've been big on bringing back Jay Crowder, Boyd. So what are we going to do with that 15th spot?
Honestly, man, right now, I think we keep that right up till the trade deadline. And I think there could be a bit of a move being made with one of our middling contracts to bring in a couple of pieces, some younger players possibly, and maybe some draft capital. So I think we keep that. But look, if we have to fill it, I mean, if we find ourselves in a position where we have to fill it, I'd be comfortable with Colin Gillespie. I'd be comfortable with Frank Kaminsky just because he's Frank the Tank. And I fucking love that cunt. So,
Yeah.
But look, I don't think that's too important right now. I think right now, I think that's more of a cap maneuvering for the future type of a spot right now. That's what I think.
I just wasn't sure. Was there? I thought with the change in the rules that you had to fill all 15 spots before day one.
Now you can have 14, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I had a feeling there was something there where you had to fill those spots, but you might be right.
Either way, Boyd was spot on. Doesn't fucking matter what we do with the spot. Yeah, Gillespie, Frank the Tank. I'm with Boyd. The Frank love gets it for me. Yeah, sitting on the bench. We've always looked after the guy. Yeah, got rid of him, got him back. It's not important what we do with that spot.
Us Phoenix fans have some love for the Frank the Tank. There's no doubt about that. He's always been very, very popular here and in Arizona. So, look, whatever we do with that spot, it'd be great if Frank did stick around. I don't think we upgrade Frank at all. I think after this 10-day, he may get another 10-day, but by the start of the season, Frank will be gone, which is sad news for a lot of Frank the Tank fans. But I just feel like that might happen. I don't see any need to upgrade Gillespie off a two-way.
Sad, but true. Metallica drop would have been awesome there, Gav.
Yeah, but we could have thrown a little bit of that in there, but yeah. All right, so next up is one of our ongoing, ever famous segments that we've had forever, which we didn't decide on before the show, but we were supposed to. So we're going to do it on the fly.
I would kill everyone in this room for a drop of sweet beer.
So, Homer, please feel free to tell us anything.
All right, gents, who are we having a beer with? We've changed
Frank
the beer now. It's three of us together going to have a beer with someone. Who are we having? Frank? You like Frank?
Frank
what about you, Boyd?
Nah, man, I want to have a beer with
chance.
Ryan Dunn. I want to have a beer with Ryan Dunn. Just tell him, man, keep fucking smashing through them screens because that cunt is fucking. He's stuck up in cunts' jerseys, man. He's bashing around screens. He's absorbing contact, and he's just sticking with guys, man. I love it. On-ball defender, I just want to say, hey, man, we'll have a beer. We'll fucking start knocking it back. We'll be, hey, man, just keep that shit up. If you just keep doing that, we can wait for your 3-point shot to gain some consistency, and you can have some rotation minutes, mate, because we're the Aussie Suns Fans podcast, and we've got that kind of swing. We can make it happen for you, buddy.
We've got that pull. We can have a conversation internally.
Yes,
within the team. Yeah, I love it. Nate's gone with Frank Kaminsky. I get the deciding vote now, and I say that
if it's true, if what you said is true, this might be our last chance to have a beer with Frank. Just doing a little bit of campaigning there.
Look, you've both put up really strong arguments. As the deciding vote, I am going to say that we should have a beer with Frank Kaminsky. I'd love to have a beer with Frank the Tank. He'll do it.
I'll fucking do it. I'll have a couple with him. We'll run around his backyard and jump in the pool and get naked later on in the night. But you know what I mean? We'll knock him back on that little circuit that he's got. Yeah.
Best thing is, I think Frank would be really encouraging with that too. I reckon he's the type of guy that he's just going to rock back in with 2 more slabs and go, boys, I got more.
Yes. Fuck yes.
I think Frank would be a great to have a beer with. Fuck that guy. Who are we? We have got a drop for this, but we have got a drop for this, but I haven't downloaded it yet. So bear with me, people. You'll see the drop next week. A big thank you to John Voider from Suns Jam and Bright Side of the Sun, who put it together for us.
Did we drop the flog part because it was too political, or what?
No, we just decided Boyd wanted to pay homage to Dan Duarte and get a segment in there for fuck that guy until he threw his toys out of the cot because we
started having a hissy fit. Like, fucking hell, man.
See, that's what you get for trying to be a nice guy.
Away.
Who are we fucking, Boyd? Boyd, who are we fucking?
Does it have to be, I suppose, it has to be someone from the...
Like.
No, it's going to be someone from the fucking Detroit Pistons, and it's going to be their coach for last game playing Cade Cunningham 30 plus minutes in a fucking preseason game when we benched all of our guys. Oh, come on, man.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
No.
For me, it would be whoever the lead is on Kawhi's medical team, because I have him for $3. I have him for $3 in Keeper League, and if he can't play for $3, whoever the head of that medical team is, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. I don't really have a fuck that guy this week, to be honest. I'm in a good mood, Boyd. I'm delightful. It's basketball's back.
Are you on downers, man?
Jay does have
back.
You're usually really arrogant and rude and say hurtful things all the time, mate. And you're just not doing it today.
I'm in a good space. Basketball's back, mate. I've missed it.
Okay.
I've missed basketball. It's great to be able to watch it again.
The Lions won the premiership very recently.
The Lions won the premiership. Nate ran amok. It was all good fun. Fuck that guy. Well, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with Steve here and go that guy that rolled around on the fucking ground and basically he's played it. He played two games against us. They're rookie. Yeah, they're rookie. He had played 2 games against us and got 2 separate fucking kerfuffles. Fuck that guy.
It's going to be
fun
to
watch. Punch on with D. Lee. Tried to punch on with Damian Lee. Then he's tried to fuck up with Royce. Royce lost his headband. It just didn't look like Royce O'Neal for a couple of minutes. I'm just going, what the fuck? Who's that guy?
How dare he?
What the hell? That's his identity. That's Royce's identity, these headband. Fuck's wrong with you? Whatever your name is. I'm going to find his name now.
Randall, wasn't it? Was it Randall?
Ron Holland. Ron Holland the second. Fuck you. Fuck that guy. There you go, Boyd. Is that better?
Can we say fuck that guy for Hemo because he left our Aussie Suns fans chat just during this podcast because you didn't fucking invite him on, Gav?
Well, I told you all I was busy until it started. It was
you made Hemo leave our chat, mate. Now we've got beef with the Suns Planet podcast. Now what are we going to do?
Is Gav your fuck that guy?
Juggernaut. They're all over the world. We're fucked. We'll hide out in your place, Gav.
Fucking have the pod.
Fucking hell. Nate, come back. We're going to sign off.
We need you.
We're going to sign off. You're our muscle, Nate. You got to protect us.
You got the most tats, so you have to do the fighting.
You're 10% tougher. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to get back on with you, gentlemen. It's been a hot minute. Thank fuck we're back. Thank fuck basketball's back. Looking forward to the next couple of weeks. When does the season kick off? It's like 2 weeks, right?
Not 9 days.
We got what? 2 more practice games.
2 more practice games. I think the NBA season kicks off in about. Oh no, that's my fucking fantasy draft. That's 9 days. Don't worry about me. Yeah, I don't fucking know, mate.
You're being very helpful at the moment. There's only a couple of weeks to go, so I think next week we'll start to look at the games that are coming up. I'm pretty sure the season starts basically the weekend after. There is 2 more practice games. I think we got the Lakers coming up. Might even be the last practice game, but yeah, we're doing really, really well here right now. So Nate, last comments. Where can we find you?
At Nicky's Falcon on all the socials. And just to be fair on some of the comments that were going around, we actually did put a lot of preparation in the spreadsheets into this episode, and it's already gone for an hour and 10 minutes with 3 of us. So no one really had the right to be throwing their toys out of the cot. 3 minutes before we go on. But yeah,
leave him alone, mate. Fuck.
Boyd, last comments. Where do we find you?
Mate, you can find me in Brisbane, Kalanga, or Buds83.
Just give me a street address, buddy.
At Aussie Suns Fans on the Instagrams, or at Fucko on a mystery platform.
Hey, I've worked out the mystery platform.
Yeah, you may have. I've been getting some dirty messages from a random account.
I seen at Fucko on one of the platforms the other day.
Oh, really?
It's your fucking YouTube comments are you've got about 7 different fucking logins to YouTube because you get on and comment to yourself on our videos every fucking time with a different login. But at Aussie Suns Fans on Twitter, at Aussie Suns Fans on YouTube, subscribe, do all that sort of fun stuff that we always ask you to do and none of you ever do because you hate us. We'll be back next week, another week closer to the start of the NBA season, which we're all very, very excited about, where you cannot wait for it to kick off. Suns basketball is back. There's a different vibe around this team. We're ready to roll, gents. And hopefully, we all know that when this season kicks off, the Suns are not going to be there to fuck spiders.
As Chris Paul gets in, another wide open 3.
Suns. Pierre Cardin. Suns.
Defers to Booker for the long range.
P-H-O-E-N-I-X. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. P-H-O-E-N-I-X. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the Valley, it ain't nothing but a thing.